The faint meow tore through the silence of the twilight savanna. It wasn't the sound of a lost house cat, but the desperate cry for help of a tiny creature facing the abyss of loneliness, directed towards the only vehicle carrying hope across the harsh land. It didn't know human language, but the instinct for survival and the sacred bond of fatherhood guided an extraordinary act, a gamble with fate to rescue a loved one held captive. The sun slowly descended, painting the savanna with vibrant streaks of orange and pink. The evening breeze carried the dry scent of earth and scorched grass. Amidst this desolate landscape, a large rock outcrop appeared, and nestled within it was a rusty, old iron cage. Inside the cage, a fully grown male lion with a thick, reddish-brown mane paced heavily. His golden eyes gleamed with helplessness and anger, gazing towards the distant horizon. Not far away, hidden behind a thorny bush, a lion cub with soft, pale yellow fur trembled. Its large, amber eyes never left the cage, where its father was imprisoned. It was too young to fully comprehend what had happened, but instinct told it that something terrible had occurred. Many days had passed since the strange creatures had appeared, capturing its father and abandoning it. Fear and hunger gnawed at the little cub's belly. It remembered the warmth of its mother, the soft, loving rumble of its father. Now, only loneliness and the cold whistling wind remained. As dusk began to envelop the savanna, the little cub heard the distant hum of an engine. A glimmer of hope flickered in its small eyes. With all the courage a tiny creature could muster, it decided to take a risk. Kai's old green army jeep rumbled slowly along the uneven dirt road. He was on his way back after a day of patrol, his heart heavy with worries about the increasing poaching in the area. Suddenly, a small figure darted out from the roadside, blocking the front of the jeep. Kai instinctively slammed on the brakes, the vehicle stopping just a few feet from the lion cub. His heart skipped a beat. It was a tiny lion cub, looking thin and scared, but its eyes held a strange, pleading look. The little cub didn't run away. It stood there, looking directly into Kai's eyes, then turned its head towards the distant rock outcrop, letting out weak, mournful meows. It repeated this action, as if trying to lead Kai. Kai was utterly astonished. He had never witnessed such behavior in a wild animal, especially a lion cub so young. Its instinct should have been to flee at the sight of humans, but instead, it was seeking help. A strong intuition told Kai that something was wrong. He turned off the engine, stepped out of the jeep, and knelt down, keeping a safe distance from the little cub. "What is it, little one?" he whispered, his voice filled with concern. The little cub moved a little closer, nuzzled its head against his pant leg, then turned back towards the rock outcrop, continuing its urgent meows. Kai understood. This little cub was trying to lead him somewhere. Driven by curiosity and a surge of compassion, he decided to follow it. The little cub led Kai through thorny bushes and over jagged rocks. Despite its small size, it moved quickly and decisively, occasionally stopping to make sure Kai was still following. After a short distance, they reached the rock outcrop. And then, Kai saw the iron cage, and inside it was the adult male lion. The sight made his heart clench. The large lion was confined in a cramped cage, its eyes filled with rage and despair. Upon seeing its cub, the male lion roared a painful and helpless sound, trying to claw at the cold iron bars. The little cub ran to the side of the cage, rubbing its head against the bars, letting out comforting meows. Kai understood the whole story. Poachers had captured the father lion, likely intending to sell it on the black market. They had abandoned the cub, never imagining that its survival instinct and the sacred bond of fatherhood would drive it to seek help. Anger surged within Kai. He was all too familiar with the cruelty of poachers, but the sight of a magnificent lion imprisoned and its tiny cub desperately pleading for help still filled him with sorrow. He approached the cage, trying to reassure the adult lion with his gentle voice. "I'm here to help you," he said. "I won't let you suffer like this anymore." The male lion continued to growl, but its eyes softened slightly as it looked at its cub nestled at Kai's feet. Kai took out his phone and called the nearest wildlife rescue team. He reported the emergency situation and requested their immediate assistance. While waiting, He took a bottle of water and some dried meat from his jeep, placing them near the cage so the father lion could eat and drink. He also gave the little cub some soft pieces of meat. Kai sat down beside the cage, watching the two lions. The bond between them was deeply moving. The father lion would occasionally rub his head against the bars to touch his cub, and the little cub never left its father's side. Not long after, the sound of a siren echoed from afar. A large truck carrying a team of veterinarians and wildlife experts arrived. They quickly assessed the situation and formulated a rescue plan. The veterinarians used a tranquilizer gun to subdue the adult male lion. The little cub panicked when it saw its father collapse, but Kai quickly scooped it up, gently stroking and reassuring it. Once the adult lion was unconscious, the rescue team carefully opened the cage and moved him into a larger transport cage. The little cub was placed in a smaller cage next to its father's. The transportation process was swift and careful. Kai sat in the truck's cabin, occasionally glancing back, worried about the condition of the two lions. He knew this was just the first step in their journey back to freedom. Upon arriving at the rescue center, both lions underwent thorough medical examinations. The adult lion showed signs of exhaustion and had a few minor injuries from trying to escape the cage. The little cub was thin and dehydrated. Both received special care, including fluids, nutritious food, and close monitoring. During their time at the rescue center, the little cub stayed close to its father's cage. It whimpered whenever its father stirred, seemingly sensing his pain. Kai and the rescue team did their best to comfort and care for both of them. The adult lion gradually regained its strength. It started eating better, and the angry look in its eyes softened. It seemed to realize that the people here meant no harm. After several weeks of dedicated care, both the father lion and the cub were fully recovered. Their fur had become sleek and lustrous, and their eyes shone with vitality. It was time for them to return to where they belong. The day of their release was carefully planned. Kai, along with the rescue team and scientists, chose a vast, safe conservation area with abundant food sources. When the cage door opened, the little cub immediately bounded out, leaping and playing on the lush green grass, its small tail wagging excitedly. The adult lion stepped out more slowly. It paused for a moment, inhaling the fresh air of freedom, then looked towards its cub. A touching moment unfolded as the father and son lion touched each other, rubbing their heads together in a silent greeting and expression of gratitude. Then, they walked side by side, disappearing into the vast expanse of their free land. Kai stood there, watching their figures until they vanished behind the trees. He felt a surge of happiness and pride. The brave act and powerful instinct of the little cub had given both of them a chance at life. He knew that the wild held its own dangers, but he believed that with their strong paternal bond and survival instincts, they would overcome any challenges. As the radiant sunrise bathed the vast savanna in golden light, the two lion figures gradually faded into the free landscape. The story of the brave little cub is not just a moving tale of rescue, but a profound reminder of the extraordinary power of love and instinct. It shows that even in the harshest wilderness, human compassion and perseverance can ignite hope and offer a second chance to the smallest of creatures. Moreover, that faint cry for help echoes as a stark reminder of our responsibility to protect the wild beauty and the sacred connections that exist on this planet.